Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with Serkworks. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for another Fan Art Friday and another in my series of Star Wars Force Awakens. Fork Awakens. That sounds like you guys ever see Hardware Wars? I think it's on. Might be on Amazon, but it was this old Star Wars parody way before Spaceballs that came out, where they had like irons and egg beaters and everything, and they used those as the ships, and it was just really kind of a hokey but fun little Star Wars parody. But maybe Fork Awakens could be the sequel to that, but no, Force Awakens. So I on the last video I did Maz Kanata. So I've been doing some of the newer characters from the new Star Wars movie, but I thought that I would go and do some of the classic characters, and I got a comment on the Maz Kanata video from Jan, who is doing the 100 Days of Making Comics, which that's something that I did. And basically what that is, that's where you spend 30 days, you spend at least 30 minutes every day working on your own personal comic book project. And I did those 100 days, and I'm going to give probably next week a little update what's going on. I had to take a break because I lost some files, but I'm going to get back into getting my comic book done and everything, but I'll give you guys an update on that. But anyway, so Jan, who is doing the challenge right now, if I can remember, I'll try to post a link, and you might want to check his stuff out, or check anyone. There's a 100, if you do a web search for, I think it's the 100s, THEE 100s, or just 100 Days of Making Comics. You can find some of the people that are doing it. It's something that Kevin Cross started that I do the Artcasters with, and it's really cool. So you could kind of get to see into somebody's comic book making process, and as they commit to doing that challenge. But anyway, so Jan had mentioned in the last one, he said, "Can't a Wookiee get some love?" And I tend to agree. So I'm like, yeah, I need to do Chewbacca, and of course Chewbacca and Han Solo go hand in hand, so I had to do Han Solo, and I'm kind of doing it in the style that I did. I don't know if you a couple of videos back I did Rey, Finn, and BB-8. It's kind of a cartoony style, so I figured this would be a good companion to that one. Which I've already sold that other piece, but so I can't really put them side by side, but. Maybe this is a piece that somebody else might like and somebody might want to own. And if you have any questions, I think I'm going to put up, I might do a separate store for selling some of this fan art stuff, just the original fan art that I'm doing. So if I put that up, I'll let you guys know. But otherwise, if there's anything on here that you guys want to see, just contact me by email at scott@serkworks.com, and I'll give you a price and everything. And other than that, yeah, look in the future for me trying to put up some of this fan art stuff. I've got so many of these; they're just kind of sitting here. I don't know what to do with them. So, other than some of them that come out, I have trouble parting with, but not that I wouldn't part with them. But anyway, so I had to do Han and Chewie, and it's just so great to have these characters back. I mean, there's just so many great moments in the new movie featuring them, and just their back and forth like always. And I think I've talked about this before, but I like the fact that Han Solo is in this movie. He's not the same person, but he still has that spunk and that tenacity, and that just the quality that makes him what he is. And I think even in Return of the Jedi, he kind of lost some of that. I think Harrison Ford sort of phoned that in, because I don't think he really wanted Han Solo to be in that movie. He wanted them to kind of send the character off and give him a death scene or something, and he thought that would be good and pivotal. It might be pivotal to the pivotal. Why can't I pronounce that word? Pivotable to, I don't. Some words, man. Some days I'm recording this really early as I get up and trying to get this done before I head into the office. But Yeah, Han Solo in Return of the Jedi, he didn't seem like the Han Solo we knew and loved. And what I like about him in the new movie is he's changed, and he's there's things going on in his life that he's experienced, and he's affected by those things. Some of those just being what happened in the prequels, where he believes in the Force and everything, but he's kind of gone. There'll be some minor spoilers. I'll throw a spoiler alert. I'm not going to give anything major away, but minor spoilers. You know, he has he's kind of gone back to his smuggler's ways, which I like, because I just him as a general in the Alliance and stuff. I mean, I think what made Han Solo great was the smuggler aspect of him and everything. So I'm kind of glad we kind of went back to that. And there's reasons for that happening and everything. And if you've seen the movie, then you know. But so yeah, it's just so awesome. And then of course him back with the Millennium Falcon, the whole, you've seen it in the trailer. We're home and all that. So one thing that it came out a while ago. I don't know if you guys saw there was a Huffington Post article that came out, and if I can remember, I'll link to it. But it was 14 unforgivable plot holes in Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and I read through those, and in reading through those, I'm saying to myself, I mean, I'm basically in my head answering the reasons why all these supposed plot holes, and I'm not going to say there aren't any plot holes. There's plot holes in every Star Wars movie. There's plot holes in a lot of movies, but some of the stuff was stretching, and some of the stuff was even things that were addressed in the movie that somehow the reviewer had skipped over, and things that if you use a little imagination that you could explain why. Some people, it seems like they want everything spelled out to them, and they don't want to use their imagination. I think I talked about this in the last video, but I mean, if they were to explain every single little thing, I mean, this movie, like people are asking, this movie would be like 4 hours long. And I think the pace, I mean, this is a really fast-paced movie, and I think they did a really good job considering what they had to work with. I mean, you've got to introduce all these new characters. You're bringing back other characters, and they usually solve those questions with very quick lines, just to address the issue, to let you know, this isn't so much a plot hole, whether it's the Star Killer base being like the Death Star. I mean, sure, we all know that, and I had a little bit of issue with it, but it wasn't a big deal. But they addressed that. They bring it up and they show, this is the, spoilers, this is the Death Star, and then this is Star Killer Base, and it's way bigger. And then Han even addresses, it's okay, it's bigger, which, so it's not like they're not aware of this kind of stuff. But anyway, so I'm reading this Huffington Post article, and I'm just like, I want to just write in and explain why all these different things are, and address these things that are, the author is calling plot holes. And of course, I'm like, you know what? I don't have the time to do that. But somebody did, and it was so awesome. So on Facebook, I'm gonna try to find this. So his name's Matty Granger. I think he's maybe a screenwriter, or he works in the film industry somewhere. But he basically did exactly what I did, and way better than I could have done. But that's kind of what I'm saying. Everyone, people might come to their own conclusions of how certain things transpired or whatever. But to me, that's the fun of a movie. That's why people often say, the book was made better, because you kind of imagine in your head what the people look like, and you have, there's a lot of filling in the blanks that you kind of lose with the movies. And so I think it's kind of the same thing. I mean, you've got to kind of put an investment in and imagine why some of these things in the movie are, but it's a really great article, and they address the part of, there was the thing about, how did Han Solo find his the Millennium Falcon? He's been searching it for a year, and he just happened to find it then. Well, that's addressed, and as well as many other issues that people have with The Force Awakens. So if you haven't seen that, I'll see if I can try to remember. The only place I can find it is on a Facebook page. I don't know if there's a website. So if you guys are on Facebook, you can find that. Hopefully I'll put a link to that. But anyway, we're wrapping this up. This was fun. Got a chance to kind of do the full thing from pencils to inks to coloring this thing with the Copic markers, and now just adding those little white highlights. But I had a lot of fun with this one, and we'll probably be back maybe with another Star Wars. Might do Kylo Ren next week, but we'll see. But anyway, thanks for following. Please please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment. I love hearing what you guys have to say, and I try to get back to everyone. And thanks again. That is all.